out of the West Coast. We now know the gang member accused of murdering those two police officers in California was put on probation when prosecutors said he should have been behind bars considering everything.
But the accused cop killer was on the streets thanks to George Gascon's soft on crime policies, and Gascon is standing by them.
As usual, Ashley Strohmeyer is standing by for us to give us the details. Ashley.
Yeah, according to the mayor of El Monte, the two officers, a two-decade veteran, Corporal Michael Paradis, and rookie officer Joseph Santana, were ambushed when they responded to a reported stabbing at a motel. The deceased suspect was a gang member on probation for a gun charge after getting a lenient sentence under a plea deal. Flores had a previous strike conviction and only got 20 days in jail and 2 years probation for a felon in possession of a firearm charge. A source in the DA's office told Fox News if Flores would have been prosecuted in February of 2021 under normal procedure, he may have been sentenced to up to 3 years in prison. However, controversial soft on crime DA George Gascon's office is standing by the light sentencing. His office saying the sentence he received in the firearm case was consistent with case resolutions for this type of offense, given his criminal history and the nature of the offense. At the time the court sentenced him, Mr. Flores did not have a documented history of violence. This comes as Gascon's office lost one of its top aides, and a group working to recall him says they've reached the 650,000 signatures to trigger a recall vote against him. So Corporal Paradis leaves behind his wife, a daughter and a son, and an officer Santana is survived by his wife, daughter, and twin boys. Back to you guys.
Right.
Thank you very much.
He was in one of those non-violent gangs, so he doesn't have a history of violence. He's just in one of those non-violent gangs. So, you know, the three strikes law that was in place before Gascon took over, as you just heard Ashley say.
It still is.
Yeah, well, he gets, under the new rules, he gets 2 years probation. He says that's consistent with the DA's rules.
Yeah, he also, Gascon said that he wasn't, violent. He had served 2 prison terms for burglary and car theft and pleaded no contest to possessing a firearm as a felon. He should have been in jail for 3 years, in which case he would not have murdered those 2 police officers. The day before the shooting, his probation officer had decided, you know what, we need to have a hearing. I'm thinking about revoking his probation because he allegedly had stabbed his girlfriend last week.
Doesn't sound violent.
And here's the thing. So this shootout with the cops and this shooter was at a motel. And the shooter, had followed his wife, Diana, that is to say, to the hotel where she had booked a room to escape from him after he stabbed her the day before. And that is when it all happened. And those officers are dead. He should have been in jail. It never would have happened.
And their children involved. They leave behind children, and they'll grow up without their fathers. There's an effort to recall George Gascon right now, and the group is saying they have enough signatures, but they still want more just in case some of these are deemed invalid by the Los Angeles County officials.
Right.
They needed 567,857 signatures by July 6th, but their goal is to get 650,000. So they say if you have not mailed in your petition, please do so no later than June 24th to make sure it gets there on time, or you can drop them off at one of their signing locations.
And by the way, to add insult to injury, the people of Los Angeles may have to pay for the funeral of this cop killer. So it's part of the other Gascon move. The Bureau of Victim Series will contact the families of the individuals killed by police and provide support services, including funeral, burial, and mental health services, so they can get over the loss of their gang member, cop killer.
The wife of the shooter, she was in front of the podium, and she says, "I am so deeply sorry."
Yeah, it's here.